Angela. Thanks for sending me that email. I know I got it like a couple days ago. I think I got it Saturday, so I'm sorry it took me a little while to get back to you. But I'm flattered. Thank you for asking me my opinion. I'm happy to share my experiences with you, and hopefully it helps you. Anyway, to anybody else watching this video, I'm just going to read Angela's email, and that way you know why I'm doing this video. Angela says, I am concerned about my pre-surgery emotional eating and what will happen post-surgery. I'm trying to think about counseling, but it genuinely isn't a big thing in the UK yet. What was the reason for your overeating, and what have you done as an outlet now that you can't overeat to deal with these issues? What was the reason for my overeating? I think I found every reason under the sun to eat. I ate to make myself fat. I ate on purpose. I was very depressed after I lost my mother 12 years ago. I had very bad experiences with men. I basically felt all alone in the world, and I consciously put weight on to build a defensive shield around myself to keep people away. I was committing suicide through obesity. It was a slow death, but it was a suicide nonetheless. I don't know what made me hit rock bottom, but that's exactly what happened. I just got to a point where it was do or die. Either have the surgery or be dead before 50. I don't know what made me decide to fight for my life, but I did. And once I decided that I was worth saving, I went full force. I didn't use this surgery as an excuse. I didn't use it as a crutch, and I didn't use it as a cure-all. I fully understood that my gastric bypass surgery was simply a tool. I understood that I had just as much responsibility at weight loss and healthy habits and maintaining with surgery than I would without surgery. I utilized the surgery only to help me lose the bulk of my weight so that I could then become personally accountable for the balance of the weight. I am not even 6 months out, and as of about a month ago, I think I was about 4.5 months post-op, I decided that I no longer let the surgery do the work. Your first couple months out of surgery, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're sleeping a lot, your body's healing. I didn't feel much like exercising, to be honest with you. The weight does come off very quickly, in the beginning. You're losing gobs of weight, 25 pounds a month, whatever. And it can make you a little lazy. You get used to that extreme weight loss. And at about 4.5 months out, I decided that I was going to just stop considering myself in the honeymoon period. And I took personal accountability for every pound that I lost from then on. What I do differently now than I did pre-op is I love myself. I care about myself. I don't want to die. I saw this surgery as an opportunity to turn my life around. I also worked very hard at severing my relationships with food pre-op. I definitely divorced food, and I went through a mourning period. I mourned the loss of food. I cried about it. I got very depressed about it. I am also diagnosed binge eating disorder, and I knew that I had to divorce my binging. So what do I do differently is I have just changed my relationship with food. unhealthy food is just not an option. It's just not worth it to me. I know there's a lot of post-op people out there that can, run through McDonald's and have a Happy Meal, and and then the other 6 days a week they don't touch it, and they live their lives in moderation in that sense. I'm not there yet. Recovering from my binge eating disorder, moderation is not something that I'm very familiar with. I'm an all or nothing thinker, and I am learning moderation, and behavior is a learned process. I personally am just not prepared to allow that type of moderation in my life yet. I do eat pretzels, which I eat in moderation. I enjoy the sugar-free popsicles. I use full-fat butter. I use light mayo. But there are things that I do allow in my diet that other post-op people don't. So, I am learning moderation. And everybody just has to move at their own pace. Now, on the physiological side of gastric bypass surgery, when you first come out of surgery, you go through a battle with head hunger at about a week out, 2 weeks out, maybe 3 weeks out. You're gonna see commercials on TV. You're gonna have dreams about food. You're gonna think you're hungry. That is a major mourning period. That is kind of where you need to really get a handle on things and battle through that head hunger and realize that not eating those things you ate pre-op, by not eating them, isn't going to kill you. So, you by getting through the head hunger, you have battled some demons. And what I suggest you do is revel in every success that you have and every challenge that you face, that you beat down and you win that challenge. Make sure that you celebrate that and try to remind yourself of as many positives as you can. There are some days, I'm from Philadelphia, and we have something called cheesesteaks in Philadelphia. I was a cheesesteak junkie, pizza and cheesesteak junkie. I actually had my first real struggle just a couple nights ago. Somebody ordered cheesesteaks here in my condo development, and I smelled them. I watched the delivery truck come. I could smell them, and I almost made a phone call and ordered one. Now, I could have had one. Don't get me wrong. I didn't have to eat the bread, or I could have had a couple bites of the bread. It's all meat and cheese, which is protein, protein, protein. There's a lot of fat in it, but, there's no carbs involved, if I didn't eat the bread. I could have treated myself to that, but I don't feel strong enough to have it just once. I was afraid that was going to trigger a string of a really unhealthy bad habit rearing its ugly head. So I just, I'm almost 6 months out and just had my first real struggle. It took everything in my power not to go pick that phone up and order my own cheesesteak. So it's not an easy process, but I have to tell you, if you're dedicated to it and you really face the reality that you have forever changed your anatomy, you forever are going to be different than everybody else out there in the world, and that you didn't go into this surgery lightly. You went into this surgery to battle for your life, and you'll be damned if you're going to let a piece of food take your life away from you. You will be successful. This is your life, and you only get one go-round. And I would say go to see a counselor. It might not be the end thing to do, but there are brilliant doctors there in the UK, and there are some pioneers in mental health there in the UK. So I suggest you talk to somebody. So good luck to you, Angela. I wish you all the best, and please keep in touch with me and let me know how you're doing.